Technically for ambush in the hidden areas of the different terrain, especially in guerrilla tactics. And the thrust here is also very effective because if the weapon is heavy or the blade is heavy, when you thrust, it really goes through and through. But if your blade is light and then you thrust, sometimes it does not get into the proper direction because it has a different weight. So here, the Dahong Palay is one of the blades that comes out now into the public, and especially to those who are more interested in the Filipino fighting system, because these are the kind of blades now that came out with the special tempering, and the tempering of this is designed with elements to combat against another steel, another blade, with the purpose of cutting that blade into several pieces. And this has been tested, and we are going to test this as we go along. Now this one is a special blade, which is the Visayan version of the Talibong. And this has been popular in the Visayan region, especially in the island of Panay and Negros, where the presence of the Spaniards were occupying that provinces for some number of years. This is very important because comparing to the Dahong Palay, this is very light, and you could definitely swing this in different directions. And this is a beautiful blade. So, as far as the effectivity of the Talibong and the Ginunting, it has its own significance in terms of the thrusting and in terms also of the cutting. You compare that these two between the Ginunting and the Talibong. The Talibong is lighter in its weight, but the Ginunting is a little bit heavier because of its cutting impact. This one is a small, it's a different version of our flamenco. Flamenco is what we call the pregnant blade, which is actually, it has a double edge or double eye, and this is also used for surprise attacks, especially in a wooded area. Now it has its purpose. It is also for thrusting mainly and for cutting. But the way how you deliver this is you could deliver this and spinning. You could spin it laterally, you can spin it also straight on a linear spin, or you deliver that with full force, having the point going into the target. This is a very effective way of spinning. It's one of the blades that are also very effective in terms of close quarter fighting, and it could be in many designs between the Tagalog Talibong and the Visayan Talibong. This is a very effective weapon because first of all, it has a simple version of the handle, which is the most important in the gripping, and it has also its protection here as a shield against hitting by the hand. This Talibong is used for contacting another weapon and sliding this and getting to the target. That's why it has its own special protection here for against the hand. If the hand will be cut, then you must use. This is also used for contacting another blade by just slapping the blade. We don't, not necessarily to cut the other blade, but to slap the other blade. So that when you slap that other blade, it goes penetrated into the target. One of the blades that are very wicked is this blade here. It has the formation wherein the combination of the pregnant blade, which is the flamenco, and combination of the Talibong, put it together, and it has its own impact during the cutting because of its formation. So between the Ginunting and this formation, each one has its own descriptive use because depends on how you deliver this in terms of hitting. But it has a little difficulty in terms of twirling this blade. This is mainly in the slashes and then also the thrust. But in terms of moving into a circular motion, it has a little difficulty because of the weight distribution. Now here, we have the different for design of the crease. The crease is actually designed for ceremonial, meaning ceremonial during wedding, ceremonial in its installation of its dignitaries, or the function of the datus, or the functions of the rajas. But in the formation of the blades, the crease has its own special meaning compared to the other blades. You see these curves here. This curve here has two meanings. One of the meaning of this, it is designed according to the waves of the sea. Because it is a belief that when a vessel crosses the ocean and it meets the heavy waves, it cuts through the waves. And this is the same virtue as far as the crease are concerned. It cuts through the body easily. And also, this has also a tradition that its amount of curves represent the descendants of the tribes of the Muslim tribes in Mindanao, representing its generations. So if this one is first generation, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 generations. So sometimes this is long, but it stopped on 18 generations. And then they have to make another blade. So it is on 18 curves, one at the front and one at the back. Now, in the other forms of crease, is not as close as the other formations of the curves. This is mainly designed for us as a wave of the sea, but it has no significance as to the ancestry of the crease. This one is often used in Mindanao to cut heads because of its significance in terms of weight and also its formation of the blade, and it is good for cutting because it's heavy. But as far as fighting is concerned, it is not really designed for combat. Now there is a plain design of the crease, which is, this one is signifying the we call the belief. There are formations here of curves on different, say this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 groups here. And the 6 groups, it signifies on sometimes on how many people they killed. So most probably this has been presented as it killed already 6 people. And this is the meaning of this. For every formation here, there are curves that are presented here. See, these curves have the meaning. As how the crease was able to kill people. Now, this is another type of crease. This crease is also a fighting crease, but it's not as heavy as the other crease. Now, you notice that the shield, this is a shield to protect the hand. Okay? But you cannot operate it as the same way as the other blades, the comfort of it. Now, there are ceremonial blades that are very sharp here, which actually you don't use for fighting. But you see the fighting crease, it has its lightness, and it has also its formation, and significantly for the for fighting purposes. Now, there is a type of crease here that is pointed, meaning it could be used for thrust, and thrust, and thrust. It is also representation of the wave of the sea. Now, the curve here is also designed as a protection against another blade. Sometimes during the close quarter, this teeth here can also engage into another blade, and you could twist this. At the same time, you can deflect the other blade in terms of close quarter. So it has its own uses on how the formation of the blade is being made. This is a type of another crease that is what we call the solid blade, the solid crease. You see here there are so many grooves here, okay? And this design has its own meaning. Every blade that is produced in the early days, it passed through the metaphysical rituals.